Chat connected.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect.
Hello everybody.
Whoa, whoa.
I think this is showing me now. Trying out something new tonight with the stream setup. I've got a little remote control from my phone. See how that's working. Anyway, in tonight's live stream, we're going to be continuing on with the development of Ghosted, the new game I've been working on, wherein you play a girl who ghosts too many people and herself turns into a ghost. So, let's get to it. Today, the plan is to start working on continue where we left off yesterday and add to the map and possibly add a few animation states to our character, because at the moment she just idles. So yeah, let's get cracking, shall we? First thing I want to do, let's see. I guess the first thing we should do is probably boot up a sprite and boot up tiled, because we will be using that shortly. Though we're not going to be using the Putt World map, we're going to be making a new one. So let's head over to new file. 32 by 32 should be good for our tile size. And yeah, let's just start drawing out some tiles. So because we're in a city in this game, I think the first thing...
_enterprises says hi Curve.
Hello, Sand-On Enterprises. I wonder who that could be. How are you doing tonight, Sand-On _Enterprises? So we're working with 32 by 32. So if I want the bricks to span, let's see, if I want there to be 3 bricks per tile, 3 rows of bricks per tile, that would be almost 10 pixels each. Let's bust out the calculator and see if we can get an exact number. Though I don't think it's going to be an even number, so I don't know if that's going to help us out, but we'll try. 32 divided by 3, let's see. Yeah, not quite, eh? What about 32 divided by 4? 8! Alright, 8 it is. So, let's go down here. Sorry about all the chaos upstairs. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Switch over to our line tool. We'll do a line across there, a line across there, and a line across there, and you guessed it, a line across there. Oh, my WebSocket thingy has disconnected, but that's okay. I might actually just close down the connection just to make sure I don't get any mysterious things going on. That's fine. Just means I won't be able to control the stream with my fancy new recorder, or my new thing. But that's okay. Yeah, it was disconnected. Cool. Anywho, back to our bricks. So we decided that 4 divides evenly by 8. So let's do that the same thing horizontally, because it is the same width and height. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I messed up somewhere. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh god. Quality material here, people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. That's our first row of bricks. Now for the second one, we're going to offset it a little bit. So this, instead of 8, we'll do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of square bricks, but that's alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I think that should do. And then we'll continue doing that same pattern throughout. Oopsies. And there we have it, bricks. So now the cool thing about Aseprite is I can take this tile that we've just drawn and say view tiled mode, both axes, and that's what it'll look like if we start repeating it. Oops. Pretty nifty. That looks like a repeatable tile texture to me. I'll turn that back off. So we got that one. Now we want one for the top of the brick. Oops. Let's try that. There we go. So for that, what I want to do is take this whole brick texture, move it down by 1 row, and then basically just fill in the top. That'll work for me. So that'll be like the top of the wall. And again, if we show some tiling on it, it should tile seamlessly on the x-axis. Ta-da! Turn that back off. I think I'm also going to make one for... What else would we need? I mean, to get going, we don't really need much. I think one more with, yeah, one more tile with just a full pink. So that way it's sort of like the top of the wall going up. This will all make sense shortly, I promise. Tileset 1. Now we'll export this. say output file. We don't need the JSON data. Yeah. What else do we want to do any of this? Merge duplicates? I don't think so. Export that. And now, in here, we'll create a new tile set based on tileset image. Go to Kirk, games, ghosted, source, assets, tileset 1. Tile width and height, 32 by 32, correct. And we don't want to use a transparent color or margin or spacing, so there we go. And now one little thing I'm going to do for later is I'm going to select all the tiles. I'm going to give them a Boolean property called collides. And we're going to set that to true on all of them. That way, when we're drawing out our map, we'll be able to check that later and create
Joe
collisions.
19Shush92 says, hello Saracton, how's the game development going?
Very good, Josh, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna call you Josh. It's going good tonight, sir. We're just getting started on some tile mapping, so you're here at an exciting time. How are you tonight, Josh? City map 1, TMX. And here we go. We now have our map that I didn't mean to zoom out on. And we can start drafting our map. So I'm going to start by creating a couple layers. So we want a BG collides. We want an FG.
Joe 19Shush92 says, doing pretty good, working on some video game music while I watch people do their own work as well.
Very cool. Very cool. What kind of music do you do? You said you do it for video games, but is there any particular genre or anything that you're interested in? So we've got a foreground layer, a background layer, and a background collides layer. And then between that, I want to create an object layer called, let's say, characters. We'll lock that for now, because we're not going to be drawing on that just yet. So first things first, for the BG, I have a couple walls here that will be behind the character. Then one on the FG.
Joe 19Shush92 says, I do a little bit of everything. I prefer to do 8-bit and chiptune. But I can expand out. I have my fair share of stuff uploaded to my Google Drive for people to sample and listen to.
Very cool.
While I have what I would consider to be a massive stock of unused songs waiting on my drive, a little over 3,000 songs.
Wow.
Created with no purpose for them.
Created with no purpose, fair enough. I've been getting a little bit into making music myself, but I'm not very good at it yet. It's pretty rough around the edges as it stands. You know what else? I'm just looking at this now, and it looks a little bit awkward with that thin layer up here. So I think we're going to go back to A-Sprite and just edit this a little bit more. We're going to move it down. One more block. One more row of bricks. And we're going to fill that in. Export it again. There we go, that looks a little better to me. That's cool though, Josh. I love good 8-bit music. It's so nostalgic for me, just listening to the old songs, and you know, I'm sure you know how it is.
Joe 19Shush92 says, trust me. Not everyone can do everything. I cannot do artwork or pixel art or any kind of art to save my life. But for some reason, music just makes sense too. Yet, I do things in an unorthodox way. Rather than read sheet music and remember notes and timings, I instead hear it in my head and translate it to bits and bytes.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. How long have you been doing that, Josh? Also, I forgot to embed the tileset, which is something I know we need to do for Phaser, so I've done that now, and we should be good to roll. So we'll start drawing out our map. And right now this map isn't really going to be anything special. We're not really going to be using this in the final game, but what we are going to be using it for is the just little demo scene that we're going to be creating today. Oops, that shouldn't go on BG Collides, that should go on the FG. BG Collides. Oh, and I just realized I actually need an FG Collides as well. New tile layer, FG Collides.
Joe19Shush92 says I've been in the music creation industry since I was 10. And have continued to make music since. I am currently 27 now. So a solid 17 years of experience.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I'm 27 as well. And that's funny too, because I've been doing the same, but not with music, with programming. And I've been doing that since I was about 11, so roughly the same amount of time, which is really cool, man. We want that to be FG Collides as well. What got you into music in the first place, man? Like, what was the initial inspiration?
Joe19Shush92 says small world. EHH, plus 27 years old. Yeah, I tried to get into game design and programming myself. Only have been able to make Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Not much else.
Hey, that's pretty cool though. Are you talking about like making actual ROMs for the games themselves? Like stuff that you would play on a real Game Boy? Because if so, kudos, sir, that's impressive. Now that I think about it, yeah, not all of that should be on FG Collides. I know this is a weird way of doing maps, trust me, it's annoying, just as annoying for me, but I have to do it this way because unfortunately we can't do dynamic depth sorting in Phaser with tile maps. You can do it with everything else, but not tile maps, unfortunately. Sad face. Oops. That one, and that one. Okay, so now that's the foreground. That's the foreground collides. That's the background collides, and I think that
Joe19Shush92 says yes. Actual ROMs and carts for Game Boy and Game Boy Color. As for your question earlier, what got me into making music was growing up listening to legendary game musicians. Such as Nobuo Uematsu, who did Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII soundtracks.
Oh, cool. Yeah, great taste, man. One of my favorite soundtracks of all time was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the Game Boy Advance. That soundtrack was just like one of the first game soundtracks that I heard.
Joe19Shush92 says I forgot to ask, any idea what kind of game you plan on making?
Yes, sir, there is. Probably should have done this at the start, but I'll open up my Twitch chat now. I'll try to, anywho. Pop this out. I'll drop a link in the chat for you so you can take a look at what exactly what we're trying to make. So this is the game page currently as it stands.
Sarikton says https://sarikton.itch.io/ghosted.
And this is the introduction to the story
Sarikton says
post.
https://sarikton.itch.io/ghosted/devlog/207671/introducing-ghosted.
Anywho, once my text-to-speech gets through the link, there you go. Those are the links. Currently, the game that's built and on there is literally just the main character moving around towards the cursor, not even walking, because we haven't animated the walk cycles yet. But that's something we might be doing today. I'm trying to get a lot of the animation stuff out of the way quick because I prefer personally to work on code. So there's Mary, there's all that. I think we're good to export our first map. Oops, let's go save it first, and then we'll say File, Export, JSON. Okay, got our game exported. And we can hit up my game/ghosted directory, npm run start it. And we'll head over to it. Get the terminal open, or the console rather. So yeah, this is basically all it is so far. It's just this girl that walks to wherever you click.
Joe19Shush92 says sounds quite promising. I hope it works out for you, my dude. I know how frustrating it can be to make a game, especially when you're doing it on your own.
Yeah.
You end up, at some point, procrastinating because it's just not as enjoyable to do something alone than it is to do something with others or in a group or something.
Yeah. True that, man. It's true. That's why I'm actually going to be making this game open source. So with any luck, there's going to be other people contributing to it in the future as well. So that'll be pretty cool if that happens that way. But I definitely know what you mean. The feeling of working on something by yourself is, it can be taxing, especially when you get through the exciting parts and you have to get onto the real grind parts. That's when it starts to get really tricky. Oh, and hey, shout out for the follow, man. I just noticed that you followed. Thank you very much, sir. So, next up, we gotta start loading our map assets. So that'll be this.load.tile.
Joe19Shush92 says, well, I can contribute music, but other than that, not much else.
Whoa, dude, that would be amazing if you're down to contribute music. Like, this game could really use like a legit 8-bit soundtrack, so that would actually be awesome. There's a Discord server that has kind of died off, but I'm trying to revive it. I think there's a link to it on my profile. If not, let me know and I'll send it to you, send you an invite later, because I'd love to keep in touch, because that would actually be fantastic, dude. So we'll call this city map 1. Go. Now it wants the the JSON, right? Assets / city map 1.json. Pretty sure that's what we called it.
Joe19Shush92 says, is the Discord called Openhaven?
It is. That's correct. Okay, apparently I exported it somewhere weird that doesn't exist. So I gotta go re-export that sucker. Apparently I saved everything in a weird place too, so I'm gonna have to try that again. There we go. And there we go, city map 1.json. map.json. Nice, I just saw you joined. Welcome, Josh. Okay, so tilemap, tile.json, then we'll say this.load.image, and we want this to be a tileset. What did I call it? Yes, tileset1, because if you give it the same name as what's in the map file, it makes your life a little bit easier later on. Asset slash, hopefully I exported that to the right place. Tileset1, I did. Tileset1.png.
Joe19shush92 says, but yeah. Of course man. No rush. Take all the time you need to work on this project. Unlike a lot of other people I know, I have quite a flexible schedule and lifestyle. So whenever you want music made, I can make it. As for the game progression itself, you just do what you do. No need to rush or panic because now you have a second person on the so-called team.
Cool. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that very much. Save that, make sure there's no errors, so it looks like it's importing it correctly. Oopsies. Now we gotta head over to our game scene and start the process of adding the map. Now I can never remember this off the top of my head, so I'm gonna reference the Rex Rainbow notes on this. Rex Rainbow maps. Tile maps? Tile map, phaser 3. So we load it, we've done that. Now we have to go const map equals this dot add dot tilemap, and we'll give it the key of city map 1. We'll say const tileset, I think is next. Yep, tileset. Tileset image. Tileset name is tileset1. Now this is where I was saying I think our life becomes a bit easier, yeah, because you only have to specify the texture name, which doubles as the tileset name. Then we create the layers. So we'll say const fg equals what is it, map.create layer? Yeah, map.create layer. Yeah, static or dynamic, probably static. Layer ID is, switch these around, fg, and the tile set we're using is tileset. Now we'll make one for FG solid, or collides, whatever. FG collides. BG, just BG, and BG solid is BG collides, I believe. Correct. Now, we need to actually, we've got a couple things to do. We got to make collision detection between our character and the map, but we also want to position our character based on the map, her position on the map in the map editor. I think we'll do that first. Let's say const character layer, or just characters maybe, equals map dot get object layer. Yes, that is characters. And we'll just console log it for now, just because I forget exactly what the property is that we need to iterate over. So there you go, you can see we've got our map now. Dot objects, yes, that's what we want. So characters dot objects dot for each object, and we'll say, let's see. By the way, Josh, how did you get into making ROMs? Like, I'm very curious to know how all that went down. I tried a very long time ago to make some Nintendo DS homebrew, but I found it really challenging and really complicated. So I'm curious to know where, I think you said you did Game Boy ROMs? I'm curious to know how you got into that scene. Characters.objects.for each. We'll say if object.name equals Mary. Then we will spawn Mary. And we'll give it the object.x. Or why don't we just say x and y. And we'll say const xy equals object. Obj. Let's see if that spawns her correctly. It sure does. So now we should still be able to move around. The layering's off, but we'll fix that in a second. Now we'll say, so we've spawned Mary, we need to fix the layering, but also one thing I'd like to do is do some camera control stuff. So we'll say this.cameras.main start follow this.Mary. Also, I'm going to initialize Mary up top.
The Mitching Hour says, hey guys.
Hey Mitch, how's it going, buddy? It's funny that it reads that emoji as...
The Mitching Hour says, yeah, good man.
Good. Good. What have you been up to tonight, Mitch? Or today? Is it today or is it tonight for you? I always forget because you're in Australia.
The Mitching Hour says, just got back from the gym, went for a run.
Oh, nice.
The Mitching Hour says, feeling refreshed.
Alright, nice. So I'm going to assume it's daytime because that doesn't sound like nighttime activities, but cool. Right on, man. What kind of running do you like to do? Are you more of a distance or speed and short distance runner? Sprinting. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so now it should
The
be
Mitching
zoomed
Hour
in.
says long distance mostly.
Long distance mostly, right on. There you go, so it's zoomed in and it follows, the camera follows Mary now. So, what, I also want to make it so it's showing pixel art because...
The Mitching Hour says, I'll do a 5 kilometer.
You'll do a 5 kilometer, nice. That's pretty sweet, man. That's a good distance. I used to be pretty into running, but it's been a while since I've actually done it. Getting a bit of a haunch. I'm just gonna make sure the music isn't playing anything it shouldn't be playing. Autoplay is off, okay, good. I'm always nervous playing music on YouTube Music that it'll start playing Drake or something and I'll get banned. Okay, so next thing we want to do...
The Mitching Hour says I was closer to 6 kilometers before COVID, but it threw out my rhythm.
Ah.
The Mitching Hour says have to get into it again.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. COVID's a good excuse for a lot of things. Like a legit
The
excuse,
Mitching Hour
too.
says, the Mitching Hour says, the Mitching Hour says.
Well played,
The
sir.
Mitching Hour says lol.
That was pretty good. That might be a clip, I'm sorry, man. Alright, let's see. Let's do the layering next. So I guess that has to go after we've initialized Mary, otherwise it'll be mad at us for trying to set depth on null. So we'll do the layering here. So we'll say this dot Mary dot. Actually, just trying to think of how. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna do this in the update scene function. Because I want the layering to be dynamic for when we get other NPCs in there eventually. So let's actually call it dynamic layering. And we'll say this dot Mary dot set depth Mary dot Y. So we're going to set her depth to her Y value, which means that if she's above someone, she'll be behind them, and if she's underneath someone, she'll be below them, which sounded way more sexual than I meant to do, but you get my point. So we'll say this dot Mary dot.
The witching hour says that's what she said.
Yeah. See, I was waiting for someone to say that. Yeah, it's yeah. So we'll say this dot, we'll change them from constants to objects on the class. This dot BG, this dot BG solid, alright. Characters can stay not class level. So we'll say FG dot set depth. This dot Mary dot depth plus 1. Same with FG solid. Oopsies. So we want FG solid. And then we're gonna do the same thing with BG solid and BG, but we're gonna do it to -1. I think the property is called depth. We're gonna find out pretty quick.
The witching hour says I'm just installing the OBS socket thing now.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, let me know how it goes, man. It's pretty, it worked pretty well for me, although I did notice that if I lock my phone, it seems to, after a little while, it seems like it'll disconnect. But I mean, my stream's up and running now. I got through all my intro stuff, no problem, so it's not a big deal for me. Okay, so there we go. We've got the layering more or less working. Ooh, we might have to make the walls a little bit taller considering the height of our sprite, but that's okay. So now let's try and get some, oopsies, collision detection running. So we'll say, down here we'll say,
the witching hour says good to know. It's probably a good thing sockets are dropped when the phone goes off or locked.
Yeah, exactly. It could be potentially sketchy if not, that's for sure. This dot FG solid dot set collision by property, and this is where we set those properties earlier in the map maker. This is where that comes in. So we tell it that we want it to collide on all the tiles, which is all the tiles we've set the property to, which is all of them. And then we say this dot physics dot add dot collider to this dot Mary and this dot FG solid. And the same thing for BG solid. Now we should, we can still walk through walls. Oh, but not that way. That's weird. That's bizarre. Okay. Huh. Wonder what's going on here. So it seems like... Oh, okay, now we can walk through that one. Did we... Ah, we started spawned over top of it. That's why we walked through it at first. Yeah, okay. Okay, good. That gave me quite a start, because I was worried that... Oh, also, little thing I've just noticed. Oh, no. Okay, so when she hits a wall, she starts moving indefinitely, for one thing. And we also have to adjust her body size, because,
The Mitching
her
Hour
physics
says
body
you drew
size.
the character. Looks great.
Yeah, thanks. I did my best. Thank you. Appreciate that, sir. So I'm just thinking through. I guess the easy first thing to do is to set her physics body. So we'll do that in here. Say this dot Mary dot body dot set size. We'll do this dot Mary dot width, and we'll say this dot Mary dot height divided by like 3. Let's see how that works. Bizarre. When it resets, it when her physics body resets, the size changes quite briefly. Weird. That's okay though. Doesn't seem to be causing problems. So I think what we want to do next is we want to have it so that when she actually touches a wall, she resets her physics body as well. So we can do that quite easily by creating some variables up top here. Just forget what they are. Is it body dot blocked, I think, is the property we're looking for. So we'll go here and we'll say const left as L block, right as R block. R block, well, sounds like Arbok from Pokemon. Up as U block, and down as D block equals this dot Mary dot body dot I just worked this out in my head. Mary dot body dot blocked. Yeah, there we go. So we've already got a case where we're resetting the yeah, right here. So we can say if the distance to the pointer is less than 4, or L block is true, or right block is true, or up block is true, or down block is true. So now, uh-oh, she phased right through that wall. Oh, yeah, because we're resetting her to her target X and Y. So what we want to do is say reset her to her X and Mary dot Y. Let's try this. Okay, so that more or less works. You can see her feet hanging through the wall, but sort of works. Yeah. So the only thing is you can't really like get her to slide along the wall, which kind of makes sense. But I'm all right with that overall. I think that'll do. That'll do for now. It's always something we can improve on later, but for now, I'm quite alright with that. Okay, moving on. Guess we can disable the physics debugging for now and get a sense of what it'll look like as a real game.
We could be flying free, leave our worries below. Safe and
I'm still trying to figure out why she can...
sound, say the word and we'll go. Baby, we'll
Not sure why her legs are phasing through the wall, but basically works. Does it work? Does it work? I don't know. Going back and forth on this a little bit, but yeah, I'll stick with it works for now. So now, guess what we can do is we can first of all give the game a background color. Set background color 0x RGB, so we want it to be like a shade of purple, I suppose. Why don't we just use a spray for this? Make our lives a bit easier. Let's make it like a more gray and a darker. Snag that. Capital E, because caps lock is cruise control for cool, obvi. Maybe it should be a bit darker than that. Yeah, a little darker than that, I think. D. There we go, that looks good to me. So now I guess we have an option. We can either choose to animate out some like actual walking animations for her, which is going to be tricky because I only have a trackpad. I don't have my proper mouse right now. Although the mouse I've got isn't actually as great as I hoped it would be, so trackpad might even be better. We can do that, or we can start working on some UI stuff, because UI is going to play a big part in this game. You're going to have like a little cell phone menu that you can use to text NPCs. That's the way I'm seeing it all going down. So yeah.
The Mitching Hour says that's dope.
Thanks. Thanks, Mitch. Mitch, what would you rather see? Would you rather see some character animation, or would you rather see cell phone menu? Cell phone menu is going to be a little bit of stuff I haven't done before, but that's okay. Should be fun. I'm going to be making use of this DOM element thing. Load HTML string in the preload stage.
The Mitching Hour says cell phone menu sounds really interesting.
Okay, cell phone menu it is. Thanks, man. Cause yeah, we still got like an hour and 10 minutes left, so that's that works for me. Get into this. And the nice thing about using this DOM element with Phaser is it's going to exist outside of the canvas, so we'll be able to style it with CSS, we'll be able to interact with it with JavaScript, we'll be able to do all the things you would normally be able to do with a web app, but yeah, outside of the canvas tag, so that'll be really nice. So I've never done this before, so I'm just wondering where we start. So it says configuration, so set parent to div ID. div ID being the ID of the div, I would imagine. So let's do that. I guess we're probably going to have to wrap it, or actually maybe what we're going to do is delete the canvas tag altogether, say div ID equals game, save that. Now that'll do nothing apparently, but that will effectively get rid of our game. And instead of specifying a canvas tag, we're going to do what it says in the tutorial, or in the notes, which is to set parent to div ID. So parent is game, DOM create container true. And there we go, we still have our game, it still exists, so good so far. Okay, so now it says to add DOM element object, add HTML string, load the HTML string in the preload stage. Reference load HTML. Let's take a look at this. Still doesn't give us much, does it? Okay. So I'm just wondering if that URL is like the path to an actual .html file with like a tag in it, or if we actually just plot the tag in that string. Either way would work. I'm gonna go ahead and assume it means an actual HTML files, which we'll create an asset. So we'll call it cellphone.html, and let's say div hello, this works. UI, we'll say this.load.html, I believe, yes. HTML, we'll call the key cellphone UI, load it from asset/cellphone.html, see if it throws any errors. No errors, okay. So add the DOM object with HTML string from the cache, or add DOM object with HTML string. Oh, I see. So I guess loading the HTML in the preload stage is kind of optional, because you can create from HTML string, which is fine, but I kind of like the idea of preloading it, so we'll say create from cache. So in our game scene, let's just try this out, and in the create, test, say this.add.dom, and that needs an x and y, so we'll say 100 by 100, and we'll say dot create from cache, cellphone UI, see what this does. Thus far nothing. But what if we look at the actual game? So there, oh, I can see an exclamation point now that I look closely. So it is putting the DOM in, so that's cool. We'll say this.cell equals that. So this.cellphone.set origin. I have no idea if this is going to work, but Exclamation point's gone. Hey, look at that. We see a bit more of it. What was... I gave it X and Y of 100 by 100, so I'm curious why it's not, why it's offsetting it so much. Let's just inspect this again. So that's the entire... That's the same size as our canvas underneath, so cool. So it's got some transform being applied to it, which might be throwing it off. Okay. Just wondering about this transform. Like if I remove that. Oh. Okay, you can't remove that because apparently it's being updated continuously. Let's take a look at the notes and see what else there is. Oh, interesting. Add existing DOM element. So you can actually use the JavaScript DOMs creation stuff and then add elements that way. Well, I do know that this menu is going to become quite big eventually, so why don't we actually start by giving it its own custom class? Call this cell phone. Overlay. And it's not going to live in scenes. What it is going to live is components. Okay. So we're going to import what? Game objects DOM. So import game objects. Game objects from laser. We'll say const DOM element. Yes. Element from game objects. Oops. Equals. And we'll say class cell phone overlay extend DOM element. DOM element. Give it a constructor. Export default cell phone overlay. Now for their constructor, they're passing in a scene, an X, a Y, an element, a style, and an inner text. I think we're gonna do away with the scene X, Y. Hold on, my brother just texted me. I'm gonna tell him to get on Twitch and say what's up.
The Mitching Hour says I'm a bit stuck. Trying to figure out what to put in the host, have the controller browser open. Is the host the OBS host?
What I put in there, Mitch, was I put in the ngrok tunnel to my local host. and I just made sure that when I ran ngrok, it was HTTP space port 4444, and then I think that plugin exposes localhost port 4444 to your browser, and then it picks it up that way. I hope that helps.
The Mitching Hour says okay, cheers.
No problem, man. All right. So, got our scene, we've got our X, we've got our Y. So we
The
want
Mitching
an
Hour
element.
says working with a Windows machine, I'm so clueless with Windows.
Oh yeah, I feel you, dude. It's been a long time since I've used Windows. I was on Linux for a long time before this Mac, and then before Linux I was on a
The
different
Mitching
Mac.
Hour
and-
says Mac
yeah.
Boy for life.
Mac boy for life. Totally, man. I've been enjoying Mac, I have to say. I love that you can do this between full screen windows. That is hands down my favorite feature of Mac. I'm sure it's got a lot of other cool stuff going for it, but just the fact that I can do that with my trackpad, sold.
The Mitching Hour says yeah, that's my absolute fave.
Yeah, right? It's so cool, so handy. So let's see. So they're supering with the same things. This element, a style, and an inner text. So why don't we go like this? We'll say const div equals document dot create element div. So that has our element handled. Style in it will be nothing, and inner text can just be what's up or something. So we'll say super scene x y div empty string for style and hola for the inner text. We'll say scene.add.existing this. So now we should be able to ditch this test stuff, and we'll import.
The Mitching Hour says also a tip for macOS. CMD shift period. It toggles invisible file visibility in Finder. Lifesaver.
Ooh, yeah, I could see that being a handy one for sure. I think I actually found that in a Google search already because I was like, where are my invisible files? I can't see them. It was something at work, I think, or I was just looking to, I think I was looking to edit like a git ignore file or something, and that's how I stumbled across that. But
The
yeah,
Mitching Hour says I only found it this year.
no way. What were you doing to edit invisible files before that? Also, my brother says he's in.
The Mitching Hour says sudo commands nightmare.
Oh geez. Yeah, sudo commands are like super sketch if you don't know what you're doing, which I certainly do not. So yeah, that sounds sketchville, man. What's up, Juicebag? I think you're watching this stream. Let's see.
Vocal Sarge says sup dog.
Hey,
The Mitching Hour
nice.
says Sketchville population me.
The Sketchville population, me. True that. I feel that too. Sketchville population, us. What's up, dog?
The Mitching Hour
Juicebag.
says at Vocal Sarge,
Sarge.
hey mate, hey guys.
You kept the Vocal Sarge username. Hell yeah. That's sick. So, what am I doing? Right. We're importing this cell phone overlay from /component/cell phone overlay. So now that we got
Vocal
that,
Sarge says never gonna give it up.
never gonna give it up. Hell yeah. As you shouldn't. That's a good username, man. This cell phone equals new.
The Mitching Hour says never gonna
overlay.
say goodbye.
Never gonna give it up. Never gonna say goodbye.
The Mitching Hour says never gonna tell a lie.
It's like extra funny because like my British robot is reading all these texts. Okay, so let's see if that puts anything on our screen and doesn't do any awkward styling to it. Puts a lot of awkward styling on it. Gee whiz. I mean, it's adding it, so that's cool, but still with the transform hiding it away from me. That transform must be like correlating to its position. So I think I'm gonna do, so I'll say window.inner width divided by 2. And then we'll say window.inner height divided by 2. And it puts it way down there, so that's unusual, but let's see, why is it way down there? Okay, so it is just the, okay, for one thing, it's, oh, yo, that's probably why, because wow, so that's impressive. It actually, so that's why the element style is changing constantly, because it actually moves it with the with the camera. That's wild. Shout out to Phaser, that's pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say this dot set scroll factor 0. Now it should move with us. Ta-da! And there we go. Cool. So now I should be able to position it in the top corner. 0. And 0. Oop. Still lost it, so let's see. Maybe the origin is playing a factor now. Origin X will be 1. Y will also be 1, I think. Nope. Okay. It's disappeared on us again. Maybe this should be 0. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to cheat a little bit and make it easier on ourselves. We're going to say window.inner height divided by 2. Because I think ultimately this window is going to display in the center of the screen, so like doing it this way isn't really cheating that much. So now let's take a look. Let's just try messing with the origin from this point. So right now, it's like aligned slightly to the right of her shoe. Yeah, like it's to the left side of her right now. So let's see what happens. We say set origin 0.5. I'm expecting nothing to happen when we do that. Yeah, so it's still there. Now let's try 0, 1. There you go. Doesn't seem to be mapping up quite perfectly, but that's okay. We can still work with this. I'm still so impressed that it actually moved with the camera. That's really cool. Hey, Vocal Sarge, shout out for the follow, sir. Or should I say juice bag? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna stop messing around with the origin right now because that doesn't seem to be aiding us at all. But what we are gonna do, how can I set a class name? div.classlist.add cell phone. Now with any luck, yeah, it's got the class cell phone. So, just thinking though, Might be easier to pull it from the cache when we start working with the actual markup, but for now, yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. So now, for the first time since ever working with a game, we actually get to write some custom CSS. So we'll say, I could, yeah, actually. Position fixed, top 0, left 0, width 100%, text align, center, padding 2rem, and we're also going to put up here the root size is 10px. And we'll say text align center, and we also want to say box sizing is border box. And let's see, transform unset maybe? Basically just hacking out all that phaser stuff. Ooh, but that's a problem. Oh, is it a problem though? Because when you're, yeah, no, you know what? I was thinking, because look, if you look here, you can't click where the DOM element is. It doesn't register a click on the canvas, which makes sense. And also, I thought would be a problem because like you can't move the character, but really when you've got the cell phone menu open, you won't want to be moving the character. So I don't actually think that's a problem. This transform, however, is. Let's try and do something about this transform. Hey, look at that. Killed it. Got it. Boom. So now let's say height 100%. There we go, can't click on anything now. And we'll say background color, RGBA is 255, 255, 255, 0.5. There we go. So now our DOM element has taken over the game. So, how are we going to do this now? I guess the next thing we're going to want to do is to actually be able to edit the markup inside of this thing. And we could do all that through JavaScript in here, but I think life will be a lot easier if we have a markup file to work with. So I'm thinking...
The Mitching Hour says newbie question. In Windows, how do I find my computer's address on the network?
Newbie question, in Windows, how do I find my computer's address on the network? I think it's either IP config or IF config. It might be IF config. One or the other. Let's look it up. Windows IF config? Yeah, I think it is IF config. Oh, it's IP config on Windows. Yeah, so I think IP config, it'll dump a whole bunch of stuff in your terminal, and then it should be somewhere in there. Or not your terminal, your, what is it now? Your DOS window, because you're on Windows. So I guess now we get to start making a cell phone interface, which is kind of fun. Just Just wondering how it should look. I guess realistically it should just be a conversation window. But yeah, first things first, I want to get it so that it's reading the markup from
The Mitching
HTML
Hour
file.
says I feel like my grandma using Windows.
Yeah, it might have hurt your nerd cred a little bit there, Mitch, but that's okay. We still love you. I'm just kidding. It didn't hurt your nerd cred none. Why did you switch though? Just out of curiosity, like what's the draw for Windows? Just being able to play more games on it or something? So create from cache. Just thinking, if we DOM element, create from scene, create from cache. My roomie just wants a sip of me Red Bull.
The Mitching Hour says I still use Mac for everything, I only use PC for my stream.
Oh, no way. So yeah, why
The
did you
Mitching
change to
Hour
PC?
says it's an OBS box.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I see. But I'm still curious, like why, like, are there features you can get on Windows that you just can't get on Mac or Linux?
The Mitching Hour says want to be able to control the PC via my Mac.
Oh, I see. So it's like a secondary machine that you then run all your streaming stuff through and offload all of that processing power onto your PC. Is that, am I reading you? Am I reading you correct now?
The Mitching Hour says OBS is better optimized for Windows. Also more ports when you build yourself. I custom built it for my needs.
Awesome.
The Mitching Hour says yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this new MacBook is holding up on streaming. Like, it's not. Oops. What did I just do? I hit something on the touch bar. Oh right. Okay, that's what I hit. Cool. Yeah, it's not really getting too warm, and it's been streaming for what, an hour and 17 minutes
The
now?
Mitching Hour says what's the CPU usage in OBS?
Good question. Let's find out. It's 10%, 30 frames per second.
The Mitching Hour says wow, that's excellent.
Yeah. Well, that's what these new ones are supposed to have going for them, is as much as stuff is incompatible with these CPUs, the CPUs themselves, when everything becomes compatible for them, are supposed to be like golden. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. So I'm just trying to figure out if there's some way we can use this create from cache function to like this.create from cache key, maybe. Perhaps. Let's find out. This.create from cache. What did we call it? Cellphone UI. Let's see. Okay, so now it says hello, this works, but we seem to have lost our class, which is understandable. But actually, I should now, in theory, just be able to say class equals, where am I going? Cell phone. Oop, something went wrong. Div is not defined. Oh yeah. Okay. Sort of works. Ah, because it's putting this parent thing on it. Console log this and see what we can mess with here.
just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a
So it's a DOM element. So what can we mess with here?
you know that there's no
Proto DOM element.
no we can't turn back now. I see
Transform
danger
false.
they know we're
What do we got to mess with here, guys?
falling just like the sunrise. You know that we gon' light it up tonight.
Not a lot by the look of it. So loading it from the cache works, but it wraps it in this other object, which has must have, yeah, position absolute. There we go. And there's no such thing as a parent selector in CSS, unfortunately. I know, because that's something I've looked for in the past. Maybe we can throw a class. Wait a second. What if we keep that div?
The Mitching Hour says might be coming in future, the parent selector.
Oh, for real? That would be cool, man. I sure hope it's coming.
Let's take it slow.
The Mitching Hour says it was proposed, I think.
Nice.
And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with
That's awesome.
Let's take it slow.
Um,
Where we gotta be. You know you'll have a good time wherever you're.
yeah, so that div
Let's take it.
doesn't appear to be its parent. That's what I was hoping for. So get rid of that again. Switch that back to null because that doesn't really do anything for us. Modify parent class
You ask me how we got.
phaser 3 DOM element.
You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown.
Set class name.
How to swim, no worries, as we'll fall now. Let's take it
Okay, let's try that.
where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bar,
This dot set class name.
let's take it slow.
Test.
Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cell phone. No, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. And we can ditch the cell phone class from here.
I know I'm not easy. I drag you out your
Beautiful.
The Mitching Hour says score. I got it working with the PC OBS.
Hell yeah, dude.
have the best times, no matter what.
It's pretty sweet, eh? I like how it shows the little preview too. The preview is a little laggy on my phone, but it still works. It still shows you a preview, which is pretty cool.
Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bar,
So
I'm going down with you.
let's open up. Let's see what a messenger app looks like, shall we? We all know what they look like, but let's just go to Behance and let's find a cool messenger app that has a neat UI that we can poach. Yes, I know. Enable all. Go away. Okay. Messenger UI.
The Mitching Hour says I'm using a slightly different library, but they use the same tech. This one was built in Vue, so I should be able to reverse engineer it easier.
That's right. Is that the one you posted earlier in your channel? Or your Discord server? Because I took a quick look at that as well.
The Mitching Hour says that's the one.
That's the one. Nice. Sure, WhatsApp redesign concept. Let's take a look at this. So, there you go. That's a chat. Or that's an inbox. Yeah, that'll work for me. So just in the nav, we'll have edit we don't really need. We'll say like header is
J_L97 says hi at Asaricton.
Hey JL, how's it going, my man? Long time no hear or see or whatever it is we do. Long time, man. How you been? And what do they have on the right? They've got a create button. So we'll say new. Sure.
J_L97 says it's been great, man. It's so nice to see you again.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's nice to hear you, to chat with you too, dude. How was your holidays? Do you celebrate?
The Mitching Hour says at J_L97 hi there, hey guys.
I still find it funny that my text-to-speech reads the emoji as hey guys. I guess that's probably the text on Twitch that converts, so makes sense.
J_L97 says hi at the Mitching Hour.
Chat's here, so let's take a look. There we go. So now we can start styling this a little bit. Cell phone nav, we'll say is width 100%. Oh, I guess we can say display flex. Direction is column, and everything else can be defaulted. But yeah, JL, how were your holidays? Do you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah?
J_L97 says my holiday is great. I got a week off and I'm just working on side projects all week.
Dream week, dude. That's awesome. That's wicked, dude. I'm glad to hear that. Padding is, let's say, 2 rem. Background color can be RGBA, same as that, so it kind of doubles up. Then we'll say, I'll just see what that looks like for now. Okay. Let's say display flex. Flex direction.
J_L97 says how have you been? We're able to land a job.
Yeah, I finally did. I got one working for this company based out of Toronto. I'm doing remote work for them because I'm still in British Columbia. And yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I'm just doing a lot of like full stack web development for them. And it's been going pretty good so far. I've only been there about 3 weeks and now we're on Christmas break, but yeah, it's been going good. Where are you working these days, JL? Align items center.
J_L97 says, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Cell phone nav, header, font size 3 rem, margin 0 auto. Uh-oh, we've done pushed our new button out of this. Oh, I know why. I know why. We need to get that box size in. There we go. Chats. New. There we are. We have a little nav bar for our chats. Actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put
J_L97 says I work for company NTX building PKI system.
Oh, whoa. Okay. What's a PKI system? I've never heard of that before. There we go. So now we've got a new button there and a close button there. Pretty straightforward. I wonder what next. I guess we'll put like a little dummy chat message in here. So we'll say
J_L97 says public key infrastructure.
Oh, public key infrastructure. Okay. Sounds intense. How long have you been doing that, JL? We'll put JL in here. You can be the first message, JL. JL and the div for the message. Public key infrastructure. There we go. Now I want to try something else here. I want to see what happens if we say set visible false. Cool. So it shows our game as we had it before.
J_L97 says I actually started there when you kinda disappeared from Twitch for a while.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I apologize for that, man. That's just I was going through some stuff.
J_L97 says right at that time.
Right at that time. Okay. Yeah. So that would have been what, like year, 2 years ago now? Something around there? So setting it visible false works, and it hides everything, so that's cool.
J_L97 says I think I's been 4 to 5 months.
Oh, 4 to 5 months, okay. Just a quick look at our Behance menu here. So they are on a narrower screen, which makes sense because it's a phone. So I think I want to do something similar to that. Oops. Cell phone div. Quite it. Just trying to think of the best way we can do this, because I mean most people are going to be playing it on their cell phone, so it would kind of be, if it's full width, it would be yeah. What do you guys think? JL, what do you think? Do you think I should have it as sort of a cell phone sized screen on bigger screens and then just full width on cell phones? Or do you think it would be better just to have it full width all the time? I'm kind of leaning more towards full, like cell phone size on big screens and then full width on cell phones. That's sort of where my head's at right now, but what do you think? Also, a bit of background on what we're doing. We're making a cell phone menu that you can access through a game that drop the link in the chat for you. This is what we're working on today.
https://saracan.io/ghosted/devlog/207671/introducing-ghosted.
Yeah, that one. Anyways, what we're working on today is basically it's like a game that's half walking around in a little city, half texting the NPCs who live in that city. So for the part of the game that takes place texting the NPCs, it's going to be happening on this like cell phone menu. And Yeah, I'm thinking it should be in its own little cell phone window, because that would make more sense when you're playing it on a bigger screen, which might, for some of our users, be the case. I know I'll be playing it on my phone, but we could have like, yeah. This is how I want to do it. So, how can we start this? I guess. So the cell phone is wrapping the whole thing. And then the div inside is like the cell phone object. So, div nav, div nav header, and then the cell phone itself will be like the background. So we'll say align items center, justify content center.
J_L97 says normally when I code I always go for the easier options and then improve later just so that I don't get bored quickly.
Yeah, makes sense, man. That's fair. So let's see here. We'll say justify content center. So this is super broken right now, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Ah yes, the position fixedness. That all has to go on here too. There we go. Now our actual cell phone menu has disappeared, but that's alright. Yes, because we have to reset all the transform stuff on the parent as well. Yes. There we go. Now we have something. Also, I'm going to switch this over to the black, so it'll be a black tint. Got about 20 minutes left on the stream, guys, so get the cell phone menu sorted, and then that'll probably be where we leave it for tonight. JL, are you still on the Discord, just out of curiosity? So, let's see, on the div, we want to say, I guess we don't need the text align center anymore, but we will say width 100%, max width is say like 30 rem. I want to see why it's not, whoopsies. I want to see why it's not, oh, it's got margin on it. Doesn't have margin on it? Ew. Maybe a little bit bigger than that, like 35. Ought to do.
J_L97 says I think him, but I'm not very active.
Okay, no problem, man. I'm just curious if you're still on there or not. If not, I was gonna drop you a link for it, but yeah. I know I haven't been very active on the Discord lately either. I'm trying to sort of revive things. I'm just planning on streaming on Saturdays and Sundays, just so I can keep everything in balance and not go totally overboard on streaming and have it overflow my life and job and stuff, because I don't know if you were here when all this happened, JL, but I actually ended up getting fired from a job, which then led to me going like way downhill in life and just starting to get like really off the rails, and hence I gave streaming a break for a while, and I've been working on building myself back up again, and I feel comfortable to be at the stage now where I can start to stream comfortably and work on these projects alongside the job and alongside the life that I've got going on, and yeah. So, gotta figure out why this. Oh, display flex is being canceled out. So we'll say display flex. Important. Great CSS we're writing here. Ah, hurt. Oh, didn't reload. Oh, I put it on the wrong thing. Derp diddly derp.
J_L97 says that's great, man.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm finally feeling up to the... Yeah, I'm feeling up to streaming and stuff again, so I want to lean into it a little bit and do my best to maintain a balance and, yeah, see where it takes me. Give it a border radius of 2 rem and an overflow of hidden. And we'll give it an arbitrary height of, like, say 100%. That should extend it all the way. And then we'll say max height of, say, 80 rem. Max height 80 rem. Oh, it must be over 80 rem. Yeah, it's 796, so we'll say 60 rem. There we go. That looks like a decent size for a cell phone. I'm thinking, well, maybe, what else can we do? Let's see. So they have pictures on theirs, and pictures are something we can look at adding, but seeing as we don't have any NPCs right now, I'm gonna leave it out. Thinking I also might make it a little less wide. Move this up to the top. Getting a little too particular here, but it's fine. Everything's fine. So let's see. Say time. Like 2020, 12, 27. Self and div. Why don't we give it a class. Messages. Display flex. Flex direction is column. And all that can stay the same. Good. Now cell phone div messages dot message. I'm actually going to change the class message to be up here. Then we'll say display flex direction row line items center justify contents space between. There we go. We'll also give it some padding, so we'll say like one random padding, box sizing, border box, maybe 2 random. And we'll give it a font size of 2 as well. Maybe 1.8. Now, sorry, trying not to catch my microphone on my collar there. So font size 1.8 round. Header flex 1. Trying to figure out, I'm trying to remember how you, I'm trying to just remember how you disable line wrapping or word wrapping. Disable word wrap CSS. Need a white space attribute. Okay, so say white space. No wrap. What does that give us? Yeah, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Ooh, excuse me. Gotta get a good net crack in every once in a while. So, now I'm trying to think. We gotta get, just trying to think of a good way to do this that I guess I don't have to focus too much on it being responsive, because like it's only gonna get a little bit smaller than this ever. And like realistically, no one's gonna be playing it on the screen that small. So one thing that's bugging me a little bit is font family. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna come back to the styling momentarily, but I'm just trying to think of what'll make for a good build after this stream, and I think one thing we're gonna want in there is the ability to close the header. Or, not the header, pardon me, the Close button. So we'll get, say, close overlay and open overlay. And we'll say this dot set visible false. This dot set visible true. And we'll say, see if this works. Document.get element, or I wonder if this dot get element by ID. Get child by ID. Sounds promising. Let's say close button.
World of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities.
And we'll say
I see the world
button
through
dot
ice
set
covered
interactive. Maybe that's not gonna work. Let's console log it first and see what we get back.
I love everything. Fire spreading all
Okay, so we get the actual DOM element. Sweet, that works.
hard to breathe, but
So we'll say close button dot add event listener. On click, we'll say this dot close overlay. That's not the same as phaser, so we'll just leave it like that. Ah, darn it.
eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my way to
Well, this one.
I live inside my own world of make-believe.
Close. Does it console log? Okay, it does console log. What does it think this is? Yeah, cell phone overlay.
I love everything. Fire spreading all around.
Interesting.
My world's so bright, it's hard.
Because if I call this dot set visible false up here, I believe it worked. Oh, okay, maybe it didn't. Odd. This one not work because scroll factor's working.
I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud.
That really not works.
To the wick.
Visible false. No, I'm beating a dead horse here. Yeah, nothing changed. I know web. I know. Shush. Oh, that's weird. We can't highlight anything now. Oh, and we can click on the background.
Pathogen7 says hiya.
Hey, Pathogen, how's it going? Shout out for the follow the other night, Pathogen. I saw that you followed my channel after I came offline. How are you doing? So that's super weird. It still shows it on the screen.
Pathogen7 says not bad. Spotted your stream link in the Phaser Discord.
Oh, sweet. I was gonna ask where you found this, where you found the stream, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Are you a Phaser developer yourself? Yeah, so set visible false.
Pathogen7 says I am got something too ambitious on my hands.
Oh, I know that feeling, man. I've got another project on the go as well that's gone from a simple little multiplayer game to like a full-on MMO, and it's yeah, too much. May I ask what your big awesome project is, or is it top secret? Okay, so this is bizarre. Can't get rid of this cell phone overlay.
Here we go.
Pathogen 7 says it's not a secret, just a personal project. But it's too early stage to say anything about.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, if you ever feel like sharing it on this show, you're more than welcome to, sir. Have you ever dealt with
Pathogen 7 says someday.
Someday, cool, cool. Have you ever worked with DOM elements in Phaser before, out of curiosity? Because you might be able to help us out with what we're stuck on here. Let's see, so DOM elements set visible.
Pathogen 7 says not in Phaser, but I'm a web dev, DOM elements are my thing.
Not in Phaser, but you're a web dev and DOM elements are your thing. Yeah, I feel you. No, I am too, but I've never worked with DOM elements mixing them in Phaser before, except for like plugins that do that and stuff. And I'm having trouble getting this DOM element to become invisible. I think I'd rather make it so that you can't add the DOM element to the container at all. They should be thought of as being part. They shouldn't be thought of as being part of the Phaser display list. Maybe we need a DOM container. Okay. Oh yeah, so it sounds like this might be a bit of a gnarly issue. Okay. What happens if I call it in here? Same deal. Alright, well, you know what? I think, because we've only got a couple minutes left on this stream. Sorry, Pathogen, you joined right at the end, I'm afraid. Regular time for this.
Pathogen 7 says I don't know that corner of Phaser. My instinct would be to handle anything DOM outside of it.
Yeah, totally.
Pathogen
I
7
feel ya.
says lol, no worries.
Cool. But I am doing this stream every Saturday and Sunday from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to join in future ones, my friend. I think I'm gonna make this the final build of our game for tonight. I'm gonna leave out the cell phone overlay because, yeah, right now it's kind of giving us some problems. So, yeah, so why don't we build this and upload it to itch. We'll say npm run build. And that'll be the end of our stream for tonight. We'll just build this, upload it to itch so you guys can try out the latest version and pick it up next Saturday.
Faizan Khan 1234 says oh.
Oh, sorry Faizan Khan.
Faizan Khan 1234 says programming. Faizan Khan 1234 says I am late.
No sweat, dude. We're going to be picking it up again next weekend, so you're more than welcome to join for that. Sorry you came at the end here, but we're just uploading a build of what we made tonight so that we can, so that you guys can try it out on your devices. Games, ghosted, compress.
Faizan Khan 1234 says it's because it's 10 a.m. for me right now.
Oh. Shoot, what part of the world are you in, Faizan Khan? Let me give an extra extra decimal place here, or extra digit, so that we can
Faison Khan
account for more builds.
1234 says, so you're making a game, that's impressive. Faison Khan 1234 says, I am from Pakistan.
Oh, you're from Pakistan, wow. That's cool. You might win the award for furthest commute to our stream. You'd be in competition with Mitch for sure. Mitch lives in Australia, but anyway, yeah, we're making a game. So far it's pretty simple. There's not much going on yet. You can just click to move. The collision detection is a little bit weird.
Khan 1234 says, who is Mitch?
Mitch is just a guy who hangs out on the stream sometime, and he runs his own stream too. You should check it out. It's called The Mitching Hour. I think he said his next stream is going to be on New Year's Eve. He does an awesome just chatting stream. And yeah, he's a buddy of mine. But let's see here. Dashboard. Ghosted. Edit game. Upload files. We'll just change display name to 001. And let's just make sure that it updated for you guys. And there it is. So, you guys are more than welcome to go and check out the latest build of the game.
Sarikon says https://sarikon.itch.io/ghosted.
And also, Faison,
Pathogen7 says, does itch.io let you embed web games? Or do you have to upload a zip? Faison Khan 1234 says, is this game like an obstacle game?
Okay, so Pathogen, yes, itch.io does let you embed web games, but you do have to upload a zip. As far as I know, it doesn't let you embed remote websites into the game, if that's what you're asking. And Faison Khan, no, this isn't going to be an obstacle game. This is going to be kind of like a, it's sort of a, like a half text-based game, half adventure game. Faison Khan, if you want to check it out, we've got a description
Sarikon
of
the
sort of introduction to the game there.
https://sarikon.itch.io/ghosted/devlog/207671/introducing-ghosted.
And
Faison
also,
Khan 1234 says, that's cool.
thanks, mate. And seeing as both of you guys are here, I'm also going to drop a link to our Discord in the chat. Just if either of you are interested in joining, you are more than welcome to.
Faison Khan 1234 says, yes I am.
Yes you are.
Faison Khan 1234 says, I will join the Discord.
Cool, man. There you
Sarikon
are.
says https://discord.gg/3u3ch.
So anyways, guys, I think that's gonna wrap up this stream. Thanks everybody very much for joining today. We got a little bit more done on Ghosted, the new game that we've been working on for all of 2 streams.
Says this is interesting, it will help me learn new things, thank you so much bro.
Of course dude, that's why I'm here.
Khan 1234 says bye bye.
Alright, have a good night everybody.